ji nag yaa ngi bëgg a yàgg ci dëkk bi sa holiday yi gudd na lool sax.
vacances yi yàgg na waaye dama ne naa ñibbisi ci sama réew. investir.
wax nga dëgg sa saafara man maa ko yor jóge ñu dem topp ma.
ci sama waaj da ngaa bëri pexe de topp ma.
xam ngeen Gambia léegi dafa open. loolu moo waral global properties jóg. jaay la kër doo manqué courant doo manqué ndox da ngay am pool maanaam piscine sa disposition di nga am beach bi sécurité 24 hours. te soo bëggee investir aussi nga mën a investir sa réew jënd kër di ko louer. hôtel yi na xam baax na waaye nag am na gan yoo xam ni dañoo bëgg bu ñu ñëwee ci réew nekk à l'aise. nekk ci bërëb boo xam ne dañu am seen waañ bu ñu bëggee togg seen lekku dëkk dañu am seen salle bu mag am seen néegu bopp am seen lépp loolu yëpp ak global properties mën na nekk.
jërëjëf def leen ni man ñëw leen global properties ngeen jënd seeni kër aar seen ëllëg ak bu seen njaboot.
Welcome to Newspaper Review here with me, Fatise, on Active TV. On today's headline, Sidin Jai said most of the elected independent candidates belong to NPP. Sam Musa accuses UDP of assaulting him over alleged foreigner voting. In international news, World Bank says it is preparing 1.5 billion aid package for Ukraine. In sports, Ballon d'Or 2020 power rankings, Benzema Yusuf's low on discus after Champions League heroes. Welcome back from the break, and now news in details. A key aide to President Adama Barrow and strategist for his party NPP has said majority of the independent candidates who got elected in last Saturday's parliamentary elections are in fact members of the NPP. Reacting to the elections results, NPP deputy spokesperson Sidin Jai last night told The Standard it is because of the dissatisfactions during the selection process they decided not to necessarily go against the government or the president. So I can assure you that most of those independent candidates are members of National People's Party. We recognize that and we will find a way to avoid such recurrence. NPP will find a way of reconciling with its members and turn them to the party. We congratulate those who voted for the party and those who have contested under the party, whether they have won or not. And now that the elections are over, we want to call on Gambians to put their differences aside and focus on national development. The president profoundly thanks the entire country, especially those who went out to vote on Saturday, and assure that he is committed to continue safeguarding the country's democracy. He takes pride in building the democracy, Njai added. On the party's dismissal performance in Banjul, KMC and West Coast, Njai said, "We have taken note of our performance in the KMC, Banjul and West Coast region. We will consult all our regional executives in those areas to discuss what must have gone wrong." Fierce Barrow loyalist Manjaku Samusa has accused Suleiman Saho, who was contesting the Central Badibu seat for the UDP, of being at the head of a mob that physically assaulted him over claims he facilitated foreigners to vote in the weekend elections. Musa, who was a nominated National Assembly member in the last parliament, told Star TV that about 10 UDP supporters from Badibu Salikenye descended on him in Kerpate after he went to the army commander to report the extreme behavior of UDP supporters, who were stopping people they considered foreigners from voting. Musa explained he went to Central Badibu following receipt of information that the UDP supporters were barring Gambian women from Ballon Fuladu who are married in Senegal to come and partake in the voting. These are Gambians who only went to get married in Senegal. When I had this information, I drove there, and upon arriving, I found out most of the youths on the ground are my own nephews. I warned them that they are embarking on a serious endeavor because they have no power to stop any registered person from taking part in the elections. I told them that even the election does not have that power, and they listened and left the scene. When they left, I drove to the armed camp in Kerpate to lodge a complaint so that the army can stand troops to stop their extreme behavior. But while speaking to the army commander, I saw Sabu Saho and brother of Suleiman Saho coming with his car, some youth sitting behind. One of them was a journalist, and while I was talking to the army commander, he was recording me without my consent. I cautioned him and seized his mobile phone and gave it to the army commander. A few moments later, I saw Suleiman Saho arrive, and he instantly jumped from his car and scolded me on my chest with two hands.
Central Badibu ak Lower Badibu ñoo dendo. Ballon Pole understand, is just 500 meters at the border there, at the border, understand. The next village, they are not even more than 500 meters, understand. Not even have to hear me. So, ñoom ñi nekk foofu, seen doom yi sey foofu ñëw pour ñëw sànni seen carte, understand. So, guys, them, suma waa listen, UDP ñi jógee Badibu Saba, some youth, ñi ñëwaat ak four-wheel, wàcca foofu taxaw foofu suba kuy ñëw rek ñu daax leen up to about 23 or 24 people according to waa dëkk yi ñi nga xam ne dañ leen delloo ñu ne ñooñu du dugg ci biir Gambia because they are not Gambians. So on sa jigéen ñi dellu léegi nag man ma am information bi ma amee information ma drive ma dem foofu yàlla def na bi ma àggee foofu ñu ma fa fekka ñi nekk suma jarbaat ñi nekk suma doomi jarbaat yi ma ne la lan moo leen dugal ci lii dafa serious de ban doole ngeen am ban kan doole ngeen am nga ñëw taxaw fi di wax nit ñi nag even ay si sa amul doole bi ngeen doo leen fa dem leen wante yàlla def na nag gën nañ suma kaddu de ma leen wax ñu ne ma ok uncle ok my grandfather we are going ñu duga nañ mo seen moto de ñooñu at that time ñu dem biñ demee ma ne waa dëkk bii ne ma ne la xaar leen ok maa ngi dem Kerpate maa ngi dem Kerpate army camp because gisuma police around here noonu laa ñëwee fii ma fekk army commander bi ak personnel so ma lodge ko ne da ngeen war a gëm a try the next village bi there is just half a kilometer on side fully help from Kerpate ngeen yónnee fa security because am na ñi dee jógee fale gars UDP ngeen ñëw di intercept nit ñi te orut su waa dëkkay jóg foofu dañu dal seen kaw dina du jur jàmm ma nekk foofu di wax ak commanda bi rek ma gis moto MP rakam bu góor Buuba Saaxo mu ñëw moto bi mu taxaw mu ngi évaluer ñeneenti nit o juróom ci moto bi wala am ci seen biir kenn ki journaliste la man xaw ma dafa ñëw toog suma boor bi ma waxtaana ci commanda bi so ma jëf mu ma xool ma naay ma suspect ma ne ko are you recording me mu bëgg mu dinaay bo interview su dafa am ci man ci laa jël bu sax mobile bi ci loxoom ma jox ko ami commanda ma ne ko téye ko because jëlul benn permission bi on san balaa nga ko def dafa war a jël permission journaliste la su ma ne man journaliste la introduce boppam also why not there was crime in it understand so noonu la ñu nekk di wax rek understand beneen moto bi ñëw député bi si boppam pick-up bi ñëw gaare gars yi wàcca Yeah, but these people, you adding them together, they have about 10 or 11 of them. Understand? So, but this is a key. Division visa mungenyo. Wala bi mo ñëw na ma fa ne dafa ñëw pour ñu nga ma bu ko jox lo bu ko jox lo rek ma gis lo xam ne ñaari lo xam rek ci kaw suma denna bi which I never even expect.
The World Bank is preparing a new $1.5 billion support package for Ukraine, including $1 billion payment from the development renders fund for the poorest countries, its president has said. Speaking in Warsaw, David Malpass said the package was enabled by Monday's approval by donor and recipient countries of $1 billion in International Development Association aid, as well as $100 million payment to neighboring Moldova. For all the controversy and criticism it generates, Ballon d'Or remains the most important individual award in world football, and the race to claim the 2022 prize is well and truly on. France Football announced in March that the rules for Ballon d'Or voting have changed, with the key one being that the award will be based on performance over a single season rather than a calendar year. That means a performance at the 2022 World Cup, which is set to kick off in November, will not be considered this year, and instead will be judged when voting for the 2023 Ballon d'Or gets underway. The importance placed on the trophies, aka Johannes Law, has also been scaled back, meaning the prize should reflect the best footballers from each season rather than those who left the most silverware.